I was looking for my older brother. I was about 13, 14 years old at this time. Yeah, he in the back room. I went back there. They closed the door. My brother wasn't there. I said, man, I'm out of here, man. The big boy got in front of the door. No, you're gonna get high with us. We need you to spend some of this money, or we're gonna beat your right here.
Where you from? How long you been down?
Okay, my name is Chancellor Wade. I'm originally from Monroe, Louisiana. I'm a country boy at heart. I got a lot of those values in me. I came out here to California twice. Once in the 80s. My grandmother said, this boy starting to smell his drawers. You know what I'm saying? Called my mom up and said, you better come get him or I'm going to send him. So she sent me. That's when Trailways was still going on, Trailways, but sent me out here to California, Sacramento, California. But I'm going to travel back a little bit because I want to speak on some values I learned before leaving at age 12 or 13 years old to come out here to California initially. My grandmother was a school teacher in Monroe, Louisiana. I love her dearly. May she rest in peace. She taught me a lot of values. Those values rewarded me even today because she told me, when I'm dead and gone, you know our granny used to tell us when we're dead and gone, you're going to say such was right. She's absolutely right. So my fondest memory in childhood is when I was at Calypso Daycare Center. And I never forget, it's in Monroe, Louisiana. And I don't know how I remember this. I remember them giving us orange juice and trying to teach us the value of saying thank you and being grateful. So after each time you would get some orange juice, you would have to say, thank you, I'm grateful, have a nice day. And I did that so many times, I kept getting juice back to back. But I guess I got so full of juice because one time I forgot to say thank you. And so they put me out the line. But that was beautiful. But those some of the values, type of values that I grew up around. So it wasn't that I didn't have it in me. I was stiff-necked and I was rebellious. Came out here to California. Grew up too fast. Grew up way too fast. I was a youngster, about 13 years old. Met a young lady that was about 18, 19. I'm selling drugs. I'm doing it, as they say, as a youngster. But she took a liking to me, not for the money, but because of who I was. But she laced me, though, too, at the same time. My mother was against it, but, you know, I was being rebellious, so I stuck with her. One day, a pivotal moment in my childhood that changed my whole life. I was looking for my older brother. I was about 13, 14 years old at this time, Sacramento, California. I went to this apartment. I knew my brother hung out with his friends. And when I got there, I asked for my brother when they answered the door. These older gentlemen, about 19, 18, between 18 and 21. Yeah, he in the back room. I went back there. They closed the door. My brother wasn't there. They said, man, you finna get high with us. We know you got money. You work for the Sacramento Union, right? I was a paper delivery boy. But I said, man, I'm out of here, man. The big boy got in front of the door. No, you're finna get high with us. We need you to spend some of this money, or we're gonna beat your right here. So I was fearful. So I hit it just to get out of here. Now he said, get your ass up out of here. I got up out of here. I was crying, went home. My mother asked me what was wrong when I went through the door. And I didn't tell her. I was embarrassed. I was hurt, a whole bunch of stuff. But that started my struggle with addiction at that time. And it changed my life forever. I fought through it. My grandmother eventually said, this boy, I don't believe he's going to school. Send him back to Louisiana. Got back to Louisiana, graduated from high school, went to the United States Navy, and fighting addiction that whole time, balancing, got married, beautiful children. Came out of that relationship, but still I struggled. I struggled with that. Eventually got arrested by a Sacramento County Sheriff deputy. 7 of them handcuffed me, beat me, kept beating me. Got up on the bench, came down on me like it was WWF time. Injured me. A lawsuit ensued. Turner Affairs got involved. I eventually settled the case. Out of that incident, I obtained PTSD, a severe form of it, right? I'm being treated for today for that. Eventually, I said to myself, I said, look, I'm not responsible. I may not be responsible for what happened to me, but I'm responsible for how I respond to that, how I overcome that. So I began doing that, but still struggling. working, always had a strong work ethic. And finally, I got into some trouble, got in debt, right? Trying to do too much, landed me in prison. But before I got here, they threatened my life because I got in debt, significant debt, tens and thousands of debt. They threatened my life. They threatened my family's life, right? So I went and did what I had to do to produce that money. And I did produce that money. So through all that course of action, guess what I learned? I learned how to be a litigator, right? Because as the brother so adequately described that came before me, that this judicial system is set up to keep mass incarceration moving in a massive direction. So when God birthed me on this planet, he said, you will go to Folsom State Prison. You will be there. I will set up a series of circumstances that will put you there so you can assist brothers in getting their freedom and getting your own at the same time. We live in a system that perpetuates mass incarceration from not just the district attorneys, not just the judges, but what we call dump truck attorneys. Every brother here that's probably facing resentencing based on all these sentencing reforms can tell you this right here, that they get appointed attorneys, but these attorneys say, I find no merit in this case, right? And so he has to fend for himself or find a brother like me or someone else on this yard that will assist them. But we're winning in that battle right there. We're winning that battle because the Creator is raising men who can facilitate that need. And so I am a public servant, right? I've been reared by giants, right? And I say giants because they cared about how my life was going to turn out. And they instilled in me public service, no matter what. We have a prison establishment, right? They allowed you between the lines to come in, and we thank you. And I intended to say that to preface my remarks. Thank you guys for showing enough love for us to come in here and check on us. But we have because they're trying to roll back all these gains that we've made, right? So, brothers, in my conclusion remarks, I would like to say this right here, that we need more organizations we need to create a fund, a legal fund, whether we got to tap our celebrities, LeBron James, Oprah Winfrey, those who have a stake or should have a stake of us developing ourselves in here and receiving justice. We need a legal fund. We need attorneys that fresh out of law school that we can, when I say train, I don't mean that in a demeaning way. I mean train to know what they're about to come into, how it's corrupt, and get their minds kind of like orientated so we can have a significant legal push. It's going to take funds to do that. So we need the help of everybody. We need somebody over the fund. And for any money is withdrawn from that legal fund, we need about 4 or 5 signatures going to the bank to get that money and stating on paper what it's for. So we need help. But we have the creators raising the men and women behind these walls that's needed to fulfill this work. So I appreciate Between the Lines for coming in here again and put that out there. Bring them in to us. I'm sending a request out, a call out to all the athletes, to all the entertainers, anybody who has influence out there that give it and know that this justice system is corrupt and give a damn about giving us what we need to help us to facilitate getting up out of here. And most definitely our rehabilitation. So thank you very much. And I look forward to the next time you brothers come so we can do this brotherhood and unity again. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.